Today I'm walking you through what not to pack in your carry-on. And here's the first thing I wish someone had told me earlier. Most of the delays you face at airport security come from items you don't even realize are packed incorrectly. Welcome back to Lux Global Living, where midlife travel becomes lighter, smoother, and a lot more intentional. If you're someone who wants travel days that feel calm instead of chaotic, then subscribe for new Comfort First travel tips every week. Now, today's list of what not to pack in your carry-on will save you time, energy, and a surprising amount of unnecessary stress. Let's start with the mistake that catches almost everyone: liquids. When TSA sees a liquid, they don't just see a liquid. They see density, they see opacity, they see anything that blocks the scanner. And here's what usually trips people up: putting something large in your toiletry bag that is going to confuse the scanner and block it from seeing your toiletries. Anything big and bulky in the toiletry bag is gonna get your carry-on bag stopped for inspection every time. Also, thick, overstuffed pouches or mixing electronics with your liquids, that's gonna cause issues. For example, if you have a slim, portable electric toothbrush, you're totally fine. But if you put your larger electric toothbrush in its large plastic travel case, then that container is best packed outside of your toiletry bag. Or the classic liquids mistake: full-size products you forgot were even in your bag. So if your bag gets pulled aside, it's rarely because TSA is targeting you. Most of the time, your liquids created a big dark mystery blob, and mystery blobs get checked every time. So here's what I do now. I keep my liquids in my toiletry bag, and really just my liquids. My water wipes and my small pouches of Q-tips and floss picks, they all go in bags, separate bags, shoved into corners of my carry-on. You might also notice that my toiletry bag is not one of those 311 approved TSA bags. This is because you really don't need those anymore. I mean, technically TSA says it's a requirement, but they also admit that it's up to the individual TSA agents to enforce. And when flying domestically, they very rarely, if ever, enforce. So save your money. Do not buy a special bag just for TSA. And if you ever do get stopped and are asked to put your toiletries into a quart-sized bag, the absolute best bag on the market is actually a quart-sized Ziploc freezer bag. So just keep one of those in your toiletry bag at all times, so that if you actually are asked, you have it and you can just shove them in, right? And it costs you what? Maybe 13 cents for the bag. And because comfort matters more after 40, if you're able to, you also can switch to solid versions of your toiletries. They now make shampoo bars, solid lotion sticks, even solid makeup remover. This removes the need to worry about packing everything in containers that are 3.4 ounces or less, because solids get a pass. Well, now I can't personally vouch for the solid shampoos and conditioners yet. I did just order a bunch, so I'll report back later. This brings me to my last what I don't pack anymore when it comes to liquids, and that is anything in its full-size bottle. So you see, TSA doesn't actually care about the amount of liquid you're bringing. They only care about the size of your container. So even if you have less than 3.4 ounces of something, if the container it's in is larger, it's gonna get tossed. Just ask my amazing Croatian moisturizer. They do not make exceptions. All right, next up for what not to pack is the just-in-case trap. And this section feels a little personal because for years I packed out of anxiety and not strategy. I was the queen of what if. What if I get cold? What if I suddenly change my personality and want to wear all the makeup? What if I want that special handbag for a night out we might have? If that's you, you're in good company. Midlife travel feels different. Our bodies want predictability. Our comfort matters more. But adding items just in case rarely creates comfort. It just kind of creates weight. So here's the truth I learned the hard way. If you pack it just in case, you're going to end up carrying it all day and you're still not going to use it. If you're not wearing that makeup now, then you're not going to need it on vacation. It's really about pragmatic packing. Bring all the medicines you take daily and maybe like one travel packet of an anti-inflammatory option. Bring your essentials pouch, which for me has my Vaseline lip balm and mini Nivea hand cream, and then that's it. Because if you're one to get heartburn regularly, or if you have IBS, those medications are likely already in your daily med holder. Limit what you bring to what you already use regularly. And guess what? I have never once missed the second sweater, the backup purse, or that extra makeup bag. All right, now what about shoes? Shoes, if not selected and packed strategically, can cause any carry-on only packing dreams to implode. They simply take up too much space and they add too much weight. However, the issue for us midlife travelers is that our feet want support. They want comfort, but we also want something stylish. So suddenly we're packing 3 or 4 pairs just to be safe. But I promise you, we can have an amazing trip and still limit the shoes we bring. Here are the shoes I've stopped packing. Bulky running shoes or a second pair of walking shoes. Dressy shoes that match exactly one outfit. Sandals with no arch support, and anything that hurts after 20 minutes. Because if it hurts at home, then it's gonna hurt 10 times more when you're traveling. My new rule, if it's not supportive, versatile, and lightweight, it doesn't deserve space. What I do instead, I wear my bulkiest pair of shoes on the plane. And since I tend to go to places where it's warm and therefore I never really need boots, these are always my supportive walking shoes. This way, walking through the airport is just as comfortable as walking around whatever city I'm flying to. Then I pack one lightweight pair that can easily transition to night. These are nicer than my walking shoes, but still super comfortable with support. And because I gave up heels when I turned 40, see ya, these are always fabulous flats. Lastly, I pack one pair of flip-flops or sandals with arch support, and this is what I wear to the beach or the pool or for going out and about when I just want my toes free. And that's it. I pack 3 pairs of shoes, the bulkiest of which stays on my feet on travel days. This shift alone made my bag feel like 5 pounds lighter. And you know what else I don't use when it comes to packing shoes? And this is gonna be a little bit controversial. Shoe bags. Shoe bags. They're really good on paper, but in reality, they're bulky and they take up more space. They decrease the flexibility I want when packing because sometimes to maximize space, you gotta separate those shoes and like stuff one here and like the other one there, you know? So instead, I use the disposable shower caps they give you in hotel rooms. These wrap around my shoes, keeping everything in my bag clean, and they take up no extra space. And bonus, you also save money because you're using something that's free that you can just pick up when you're traveling. Now, after I made all these changes, I noticed a benefit I didn't expect. What I found is that by limiting my shoe options, I actually made getting dressed easier. Because when you pack fewer shoes, everything you bring just kind of naturally matches. It's like your suitcase becomes your stylist. All right, now lastly, what to stop packing for good. You know those items that stay in your bag, not because they're useful, but because they're somehow part of your travel identity? Yeah, that's good. For me, that was, number 1, that giant neck pillow that really never sat right. Now, I clip a Cabot pillow to my personal item, but I only bring it when I expect to actually sleep on my flight. For everyday flights, the adjustable headrest on the airplane seat will completely suffice. Number 2, that hardcover book I wanted to read, but definitely didn't. Now I bring a Kindle, my entire library on one slim device. And if you don't end up opening it up on the trip, that's okay. There's no guilt because you weren't lugging around heavy books that took up prime luggage space. Number 3, full-size hair tools with all the gadgets. No. I'm not saying you have to leave everything at home and are therefore stuck just using the hotel hairdryer. As somebody who is completely incapable of managing a hairdryer and a brush simultaneously, I get it. I have to bring my Shark Air Wrap. But what I do is I bring one brush attachment. Instead of bringing all the accessories it has, I just bring the single attachment that I use daily. Everything else stays at home. Number 4, what not to bring, a stack of like hotel style extras. We're talking laundry sheets or sewing kits. I've never needed any of these things, but if you do actually need something, there's a pretty good chance your hotel is going to have a freebie option for you. Just call down to the front desk and ask. All right, number 5, and the last one. This is one that was me for a long time. Bringing a million different charger cords and charger blocks. I used to be that person who would, no joke, pack a charger cord and a block for every single device I had, plus a couple backups just in case something failed. And then of course I'd have to also pack a travel power strip so that there would be enough outlets to plug everything in. If this is you, yikes, leave it all at home. All you need is one travel adapter. It works worldwide and has multiple input options. One block, charge everything. Travel gets easier when your bag is filled with things you actually use and not things you carry out of habit. All right, so that's the Luxe Global Living Midlife Traveler Guide to what not to pack in your carry-on, the things that weigh you down, slow you down, and make travel harder than it needs to be. If you want smoother, lighter travel after 40, subscribe for more Luxe Global Living, videos designed for midlife travelers who value comfort and simplicity. Make your next trip your best trip.